Howdy, Ayebawl here, and welcome to another episode of Factorio with Arumba's Angel plus Bod mod pack. So, there was a warehouse here that was filled with coal, and I removed the warehouse and reconnected the belt line. And let's follow the coal path. Doo-doo-doo. So in this area there was another storage box that was collecting, and I got rid of the box as it was empty, and the line that I just cut leads to the steam engine boiler area. So let's head on over there and take a look. So the main reason why we're looking into this is because I am running out of coal, and the whole steam engine area is just eating it up. So this warehouse used to be full at 160, and I noticed that it dropped dramatically. So I was going to use fuel canisters, but in order to fill up the fuel canister, you have to have a canister, and a canister creates plastic, or you need plastic to create the canister. And when the boiler uses the fuel canister, it does not give you the plastic back or the canister back. So basically I'm just throwing away plastic, and plastic is just way too important right now for other materials. So instead of using fuel canisters, even though I've already got, I don't know what, about 1,000 made already, I'll figure something else to use for them. I decided to start using solid fuel. So the I was going to show off how the canister, you don't get the canister back, but that would just take forever. You'll just have to take my word for it. But making solid fuel works out a lot better than just using coal. So coal is 8 megajoules and solid fuel is 25 megajoules. And it takes one piece of coal to make 2 coke, and 2 coke with the fuel oil will give you 2 solid fuel. So basically you're exchanging 8 megajoules of energy for 50 megajoules of energy. So that just works out a lot better. So for the first, I want to see if the accumulators can actually handle the night without the top part of the steam engines, and only use this bottom small section here. So it's about 29, about 30 gigajoules of energy that the accumulators can hold. So we'll wait until nightfall. It'll probably have to be the second night by the time those steam engines cut off, to see if the accumulators can actually handle the night. So the coal issue was just one issue that I'm trying to figure out. Another issue is this massive amount of copper. Not so much the buildup of raw copper, but the fact that I ran out of iron plate. The warehouse that's over here on the right used to be completely full, but apparently now the factory has died down some, and it's started to stockpile again. But just in case, I was wanting to take and copy a section of what I did for the iron plate and replace that with the setup that I have for the copper plate. The only thing is that it's maybe a room issue. I think I copied everything. So one option I have is to remove that RoboPort there out of the way and then move the steel processing up 4 spaces. And maybe, just maybe, that will give me enough room for this setup for the copper. Let's see, how many spaces is that? Can I get out of it? 2. It looks about 4. So maybe. So it does look like if I remove the roll port out of the way, shift the steel up 4 spaces, I would then have just enough room for replacing the copper plate setup. But since my reserves are actually growing, I think I'm going to deal with this later. So I took a look at the copper setup, and this is kind of misleading. According to this, I'm actually producing more than I'm consuming. But if that were true, then how did I run out? So misleading. Suspect. So copper was a second issue. Another issue is still plastic. Uh, Plastic is being eaten up by the transistors and the integrated circuits, as well as the whole robot production. And it does look like a fair amount of plastic's being made. It just seems to be held up by the natural gas liquid, which has a steady inflow. It's just the amount of machines I've built, it can handle a higher input. Another solution was to use the raw gas and turn that into a synthesized gas, which I had a couple options. I can turn it into methanol, or I can turn it into naphtha. One of my viewers commented saying that you can use LG, but I couldn't find LG, so I'm going to have to try again and look, or maybe search to see where it's at. So right now the robots are carrying the natural gas to and from the east side, or from the west side of the base to the east side, and it might be better just to put it on a train and ship it over instead, because the robots kept getting attacked, which then means I may be losing some canisters. So one of the short goals I was wanting to do was to go ahead and complete transferring all the Mark II robots into Mark IIIs. And I was using those chests there, which is part of a mod that swaps out the higher tier robots for the lower tier. And I believe all of the logistic robots are actually in storage, and only a few of the construction robots, of the Mark IIs that is, are still out in the wild. So I technically don't have much more to do with this base except for finishing up the shortfalls that I have and looking towards launching rockets. But before I start launching rockets, I want to retake the area to the east and make that my launch pad. And that's going to have to deal with taking care of tons of biters that are over there, and I don't want to deal with them. So I found out here that I missed a wiring job, and that chest ended up overloading. So hopefully by limiting the factor for all the chests to 10 instead of 50, they'll stop wasting the green chips, or the green circuits that is. And if that ever backlogs, then hopefully more plastic will be used for the transistors, which those will be used for the brains, so the robots can actually get made. So it looked like the coal finally actually backed up, and enough coal is being made to withstand the smelting process and the main bus, which is good. But I'll put a storage box there so that coal can at least be accumulated in case I need it later. Oh, looks like the accumulators were not able to handle the night. So I'm probably going to need more accumulators if I want to get away from steam engines. And it looks like I only have about 65 accumulators in storage, so that's definitely not enough. So let's head back over to the steam engines and take a look to see if the amount of solid fuel I'm making is enough to run all those steam engines. Looks like the chest's getting kind of backed up, so that's kind of good. Let's just redo this line. And I only want one chest, so we'll have to put it here. So hopefully there's enough solid fuel in that chest to actually uh, fill up the belt for the top part of the steam engines. Oh no! It's not what I meant to do. I meant to upgrade the belt, not delete stuff. It shouldn't take too long to rebuild. Okay, let's just give it a second, see how this pans out for a little bit. Make sure I didn't mess things up too bad. So I only have 20 for the requested chest. The heavy pump was able to empty out that chest before the robots were able to refill it. So I changed the requested chest from 20 to 200 to ensure there's always going to be enough fuel oil there for these machines to run. And we'll change that chest to requested chest, so if I use the synthesized gas to make solid fuel, I'll probably end up making it on the east side of the base, and the robots can just fly it over here to the west side. And we'll have to wait for the robots to send me those Mark III boilers, so I can put those back down. That's fine. They can use some of the liquid fuel canisters. So these are some of the shortfalls I was looking at. Was coal starting to run out, copper that was completely dry until apparently the factory didn't need that much, and waiting on plastic. So those are some of the issues that I'm trying to sort out while I'm waiting for the Mark III robots, because I'm ready to expand and start to build the rocket silos and treating the crushed stone as the sulfur. So that's going to be it for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow.